Hello everyone. Today I am going to explain the topic automotive resistances and propulsive powers. Means which kinds of resistances are offered or occurs when the vehicle is moving, and what is the propulsive power is required, what is the power is required to propel the vehicle so that vehicle gets speed and vehicle gets accelerated. As we know that the amount of power which is available at the crankshaft is not fully utilized. Some of its power is wasted to overcome the friction or overcome the different types of resistance. So those resistance which are occurs to accelerate the vehicle, or which are occurs to give the proper speed, to give to the proper power from the crankshaft to the engine to the wheel, is known as automotive resistances. As we see here, the brake power available at the crankshaft in an automotive engine is not fully utilized to speed up the vehicle. Much of it goes wastage to overcome the various resistances which are given as. So the different types of resistance which are occurs, due to which the overall power which are available at the crankshaft is not given to to use utilize to give the speed of a vehicle, are as follows. And just a minute. And these resistances are road resistances. Road resistances are further classified as rolling resistances and friction resistances. Road resistances means the vehicle which are occurs due to the vehicle moving onto the road. And further, the road gradient resistance means when the vehicle is moving onto the road and suddenly an inclination occurs, and suddenly a slope occurs. Due to this inclination, the vehicle speed gets reduces. Then this is a type of road gradient resistance. Further, air or wind resistance, which is occurred due to the occurrence of the wind. And the further resistance is accelerating resistance. Just because of that, when the vehicle is moving in a forward direction, then certain amount of resistances occurs onto the vehicle. But when we accelerate a vehicle, due to that additional speed, the further as much amount of forces and much amount of repulsive forces are occurs into the engine. And these repulsive forces is due to the application, due to the acceleration of the vehicle, are known as accelerating resistances. So we will discuss one by one all these type of resistances. Yes, first is rolling resistance. The rolling resistance which is occurs when the vehicle is moving onto the surface, then on due to the rolling of the wheels, the resistance which is occurred between the wheels and the surface of the road is known as rolling resistance. And the rolling resistance is depends on the following parameters. First, the mass of the vehicle means how much mass of the vehicle. If the vehicle is higher, then much amount of rolling resistance will occur. In case of lighter vehicle, the rolling resistance will be less. Further, next is material of road surface such as clay, wood and sand. The what is the material of the road on which the vehicle is moving? Like if you go for a muddy surfaces, then in case of muddy surfaces, the rolling resistance is higher. In case of if you go for concrete, or if we go for the sand wooden surfaces, then in case of wooden surfaces, the rolling resistance is less. So the rolling resistance is also depends on the material of the road surface. On the basis of this road road surfaces material, the rolling resistance will also be different. For the next, quality of road surface such as poor, good, dry or wet. The rolling resistance is also depends on the quality of road surfaces. If there are lots of bumps, lots of jerk are occurring to the surfaces, then in case of as we say that it is a type of poor surface, then in poor surfaces much amount of rolling resistances occur. If the surface is smooth, there is no bumps and no jerks occur, then the resistances will also reduces, and the rolling and the value of rolling resistance is down in this case. Same case is for dry and wet surfaces. In case of wet surfaces, the rolling resistance is higher just because of stiffness of the on the road surfaces. But in case of if you go for dry surfaces, just because of dryness, there is a less amount of stiffness occurs, and due to which the rolling resistance value is also reduces. If you go for further rolling resistances, the next type of rolling resistance is depends on the material of tire. which type of tire, yeah, what is the material of the tire on which we measure the rolling resistance. Just because of, if you go for the different types of rubber and nylon tires, then in this case of rolling resistance is less. If you go for the iron wheel or iron rim, then in these cases the rolling resistance is higher. So the material of the tire is also play a very important role in the form of rolling resistances. Further, next is inflation of the tire. How much amount of inflation in the tires occurs? Just because as we have talking about the nylon and rubber tires, then in this type of tires, the if the inflation in the tire is much, then the contact surfaces between the road and the tire is less, and in this case less amount of rolling resistances will occur. So the inflation of the tire is again a very important parameters. If it depends, if the inflation of the tire is higher, then the rolling resistance value will be less. Further, if you go for if you have to count the how much amount of rolling resistance will occur on a surface, then the rolling resistance will be counted with the help of this formula. Rr is rolling resistance is denoted by Rr, and Rr is equal to CRmg, where Cr is equal to rolling road constant, and in general case its value is taken as 0.015, and m is the mass of the vehicle, as we already told that the rolling resistance depend on the mass of the vehicle, and g is the gravitational acceleration. So the rolling resistance is the resistance which occurs when the vehicle is rolled, when the wheel is rolled on the surface, then how much amount of resistance will occurs, and it depends on the different parameters. Though if you have to calculate the rolling resistance value, the rolling resistance is equal to Rr is equal to CRmg. Further, we go for again different type of resistance, like frictional resistance. Frictional resistance, if you go for frictional resistance, it is another type of road resistance in which it includes the different types of transmission losses. Just like the gear losses, when gear shifts from first, second to third, different types of, if you go for the different types of transmission occurs, then in case of these transmissions, the friction occurs, and the friction resistance counts these type of frictional losses. And the value of, if we have to count the value of frictional losses, then the value of frictional losses Rf is equal to 132.5 plus 50.5 m, where m is the mass of the mass of the vehicle including load on it in kg. मीन्स अगर हम यहाँ पर बात करते हैं कि आपका कितना आपका फ्रिक्शन रेजिस्टेंस किसी व्हीकल पर अकर हो रहा है, देन द फ्रिक्शन रेजिस्टेंस विल directly depends on the mass of the vehicle, and again the mass of the vehicle and the how much mass we have loaded on that vehicle. The overall mass of the vehicle is on the vehicle, and its loaded value is directly proportional to the frictional resistance. Further, one more thing, frictional resistance is also depends on the driving conditions, driving habits, and maintenance of the vehicle. If the vehicle in maintenance is less, then in that case number of frictional equipment due to the lack of lubrication occurs. In case of lack of lubrication, frictional value between the different component is also increases. Driving habit and driving conditions also uh, initiates the friction resistance. Just because of that, in case of if the driving habit or driving conditions are poor, then the friction resistance is also increases. So in other words, we can say the vehicle, just like the private vehicles which are single-handed driven vehicles, have less friction resistance, while on comparison with the public vehicles or transport vehicles which are driven by multiple persons, those vehicles have higher amount of frictional resistance. Further, next is road gradient resistance. Road gradient resistance is a type of resistance when a vehicle is moving on a surface, then after a certain period of time, if a slope occurs onto the surface, then due to the slope, the vehicle, the velocity of vehicle or the speed of vehicle on by which the vehicle is moving, when comes on to at the slope, then the speed of the vehicle reduces, and this speed, then the decrease in the speed is occurs just because of road gradient resistance or the occurrence of the slope. So the road gradient resistance, if you're talking about, it depends on the two main values. The first is the mass of the vehicle, and second is the slope of the road on which vehicle is moving. the mass of the vehicle and the slope on which vehicle is moving. So if the mass of the vehicle is higher, then in that case the road gradient resistance will be higher, and the slope is also effect. Slope is directly proportional to the road gradient resistance. Now if you are again explaining my topic, like if in this case if the vehicle is moving in a straight path or suddenly slope occurs, then in that case if the mass of the vehicle is higher, then much amount of road gradient resistance will occur, much amount of backward force will occur. Same case in the form of slope, if the slope is less, then less amount of frictional forces, less amount of backward forces occur. In case of higher frictional force or higher sloping surface, then the higher amount of road gradient resistance will occur. If you have to count the value of road gradient, then the road gradient resistance value is denoted by Rg, and it is equal to mg sine theta, where m is the mass of the vehicle, g is the gravitational acceleration, and theta or sine theta is the where theta is the inclination of the vehicle, inclination of the slope. So as the slope of the surface reduces tending towards 0, then Rg value will be becomes 0. And if the theta is become higher, just because of sine theta is gradually increases from 0 to 90 degree. So on increasing the slope of a surface, then the theta value will be increases, and Rg value or road gradient resistance value will be increases. Yes, the next resistance is air resistance. The air resistance is offered when a vehicle is moving in a forward direction and the air is traveling and into the just opposite direction. So in that case, when the vehicle is moving and the air is offered you can say and flow in opposite direction, so in that case it acts as a resistive forces, due to which the acceleration or the velocity of vehicle reduces. So it is known as the air resistance. It is also known as the wind resistance, and it depends on again the following parameters. First, the speed of vehicle. If the speed of vehicle is higher, then higher amount of propulsive forces, higher amount of the repulsive forces will be occurs on that vehicle. Size and shape of the vehicle. Yes, the size and shape is also very important factor. Just because of that, if you have seen the shape of bullet train or different type of high speed engines, then in that case you have seen that the shape of that type of engine is a conical. Just because of that, when the air comes into contact, it will flew away, and much or less amount of hammering force act on the at the front of the surfaces. In opposite of that, if you say the shape of the like buses, then in buses the shape of is like as a frontal area is perpendicular. So when the air strike on that, much amount of repulsive forces will be occur. So again, the size and shape of the vehicle is an important on incline or on making a particular type of shape, you can reduces the air resistance. Next, speed of the moving air. How much amount of air is moving? If the air moving velocity is higher, then the higher amount of resistance occur. If the air is in standby condition, not much amount of air is blowing, then less air resistance will be offered on that surface. Whereas not only the moving velocity of speed of air, just the second factor is also very important, in which direction the air is moving. If the air is moving into the direction of that vehicle going, then the decreasing effect, then the resistance effect is very less, or will be you saying say that no resistance will be offered. But if the airflow velocity is just opposite to the moving of the vehicle, then much amount of impact occurs on that vehicle, and the resistance value will be higher. And if we have to count the air resistance, then air resistance is denoted by a value Ra, and Ra is equal to Ca multiplied by AV square, where Ca is the coefficient of air resistance, A is the projected frontal area of the vehicle. What is the frontal area of the vehicle? Just because of that, in point 2 I have explained the size and shape of the vehicle is depends on the air resistance. Yeah, air is affects the air resistance. Just because of that, A is shown here, and V is the velocity of vehicle. And one more very important thing, the square of the velocity. Square of the velocity is directly proportional to air resistance. Means if the velocity increases, if the vehicle velocity increases, so just square of that much amount of air resistance will be offered. If your vehicle is moving with velocity 2 meter per second, from 2 to increase you have you increases your velocity from 2 to 4, then in that case 2 of 4k square means 16 times of 4k in square times amount of air resistance will be offered on your surface, as we have shown here from the below graph, which is plotted between air resistance and speed. So in that case, on increasing the speed, the air resistance will be offered in the manner of exponential. Further, next is tractive resistance and propelling power. Till now we are talking about different types of resistances which are which offers, yeah, which occurs when the vehicle is moving, and further we are talking about tractive resistance. The tractive resistance is the resistance, some of the resistance or different types of resistance which are occurs onto the vehicle when vehicle is moving. Then the sum of all these resistances is known as tractive resistances. As we see here, the sum of the resistances discussed in the preceding articles. Till now we have discussed the different types of resistances. We are talking about that. We known as the tractive resistance RT, and is considered at the axle of the vehicle. And all these resistances we considered that all these resistances are occurs at the axle of the vehicle. Just because of that, this axle provides the propelling power to the shaft, to the engine, or you can say vehicle. So RT is equal to, here RT, tractive resistance, is denoted by RT. Then RT is equal to RR, rolling resistance; RF, friction resistance; RG, road gradient resistance; RA, air or wind resistance; and all R acceleration is accelerating resistance. Yes, we have not explained here till now the accelerating resistance. Accelerating resistance is a type of resistance which occurs when the vehicle accelerates. Then the accelerating resistance will offer which acted reverse, yeah, backward direction to the moving of the vehicle. And the value of this accelerating resistance is M, denoted by mf, where m is the mass of the vehicle and f is the acceleration by which vehicle is accelerating. So the tractive resistance is the overall sum of the different types of resistance which occurs when a vehicle is moving. Now we talk about the propelling power. Propelling power means how much amount of power is required to propel a vehicle or to move a vehicle. So the power, yeah, yes, we are explaining it. The power required to propel the vehicle can be determined as follows by finding the work required to be done at the axle. Means propelling power means how much amount of work we have to done on the axle of the vehicle so that vehicle can be moved. Then the work required is equal to RT multiplied by V. मीन्स जो आपको वर्क रिक्वायर्ड होगा वो आपका होगा ट्रैक्टिव रेजिस्टेंस, जितना रेजिस्टेंस ऑफर हो रहे थे, और मल्टीप्लाइड बाय वेलोसिटी, बाय विच वेलोसिटी यू वांट्स टू प्रोपेल योर व्हीकल और यू कैन वांट्स टू स्पीड अप योर व्हीकल. So these are the different types of resistances which occurs when the vehicle is moving, and the propelling power and the power which is required to propel the vehicle or to move the vehicle is. Yes, now the different topic is gearbox. What is the gearbox and what is the function of gearbox? What is the necessity of gearbox? What are the different types of gearbox we are using in our automobiles? What are the different types of modifications occurs in gearbox until now? We are explaining all these different types of things in our gearbox chapter. So, first of all, in a simple word, we will see what is gearbox. Gearbox is a type of transmission system which is used to transmit power to the you can say to propeller shaft or to a wheel. When at the case in the case of gear arrangement, different types of gear first, 2, 3, and 4, different types of gear are arranged. Similarly, the reverse gear is also attached. So this type of gear are used to provide different types of torque to the axle, and similarly different types of speed are also provided with the help of this type of gearboxes. So now we are going to explain the functions of gearbox. What are the different function of gearbox? The gearbox is and its associated units perform the following functions. The first function is the gearbox assists in variation of torque, means tractive effort produces by the engine in accordance with the ड्राइविंग कंडीशन. यस, द गियर बॉक्स का बेसिकली काम की हम बात करते हैं तो गियर बॉक्स का काम आपका होता है डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ टॉर्क या ट्रैक्टिव एफर्ट प्रोवाइड करना. मीन्स जब व्हीकल आपका मूव करता है तो अलग अलग केसेस में आपको अलग अलग कंडीशंस में आपको डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ टॉर्क की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है. ये टॉर्क्स जो आपको प्रोवाइड करने होते हैं, ये टॉर्क का प्रोवाइडिंग मेथड जो आपका होता है वो विद द हेल्प ऑफ गियर बॉक्स होता है. अलग अलग ड्राइविंग कंडीशंस के अकॉर्डिंग, अलग अलग आपका सरफेस के नेचर के अकॉर्डिंग एंड डिफरेंट अदर फैक्टर्स के केसेस में आपको डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ टॉर्क आपको रिक्वायर्ड होता है. एंड ये डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ टॉर्क प्रोवाइड करता है गियर बॉक्स बाय शिफ्टिंग ऑफ गियर्स. Yes, this is the first function. Now we are talking about the second function of the gearbox. It helps in smooth running of the vehicle at different speed, since variation of torque induces variation in speed. Yes, it is also another important factor. In first factor I am telling you about the different types of torque to provide different types of torque in different conditions. Now the second function is to provide smooth running. Just because of that, in different speed cases you needed different type of torque. Just because of that, when you start a vehicle, then in the starting case much amount of resistance will be offered. Just because of that, your vehicle is in stationary condition, so in that case higher amount of torque is required. So in that case first gear is required, and just because of that, in your first gear heavy amount of torque is available. On the case of second gear and third gear, as the speed of your vehicle is moving on, the less amount of torque is required. So in different cases you apply different gears. So and the function is to provide a smooth running of the vehicle and according to your need of different speeds. Third function of gearbox, it provides a means to vary the torque ratio between engine and road wheel. Yes, uh, this is another function to provide different gear ratio and different torque ratio between the engine and the road wheels. The next function of gearbox is, many times driving requirement demands for disconnecting between the flow of engine power and the road wheels, even though the clutch is in engaging position. This is achieved by keeping the gearbox in neutral position. Sometimes we needed that the we start a vehicle, and when in next classes when I will explain about the clutch, then you will better know what is the use of clutch. So till now I am just in explaining you the function of gearbox. Sometimes the need of a vehicle that we want to start a vehicle and don't want to engage a clutch. When the clutch is engaged, when the pressure is applied on the clutch, then the power available at the crankshaft does not provide to your propeller shaft of your wheel. But when the clutch is engaged position, then the power of your crankshaft is provided to the propeller shaft, and by with the help by which speed your crankshaft rotated, the propeller shaft will also rotated. So sometimes we want to start a vehicle and don't want to engage a clutch, but the need of our the requirement of our is that we don't want to move a vehicle. We want that in this case the vehicle will be stopped, and this situation will be obtained by applying a neutral gear. In neutral gear, the power which is available at the crankshaft just will not be provided to the propeller shaft or to the wheel. Next function of your gearbox is the gearbox. Yes, yeah, the reverse gear, back gear, or you can say it. The gearbox also provided a facility of reverse gear. Means you can make a forward motion of a vehicle, and also in the same time you can reverse your vehicle, or you can move backward your vehicle with the help of this reverse gear. Reverse gear is a type of gear in which you can easily move your vehicle back without doing much effort. The next function of your gearbox is an overdrive is provided. Overdrive, yes, this is another important function. Overdrive provides a super top gear. The ratio of engine crankshaft speed to a road wheel speed is less than 1. The gearbox another function is to provide a overdrive. Overdrive means in till now when we changes the gear, the speed of your crankshaft, how much by how much speed your crankshaft rotated, that is the maximum speed of your engine. And by applying a top gear, you can provide that power to your propeller shaft, and with the same speed by which your crankshaft is rotated, your propeller shaft is rotated, and the maximum amount of power can be transmitted to the wheel. But in case of overdrive case, yeah, in case of super top gear case, it is provided with the you can provide with the help of gearbox. And in this case, the power which is available at the crankshaft, much a higher value of that power will be provided, yeah, can be provided, you can say, to the propeller shaft. In this case, the gear ratio is less than 1. So these are the different types of functions of the gearbox. And with that's why the I can say that the importance of this is also the importance of your gearbox. Now, the need of a gearbox. What is the need of our gearbox? What types of, till now I explaining the function. Similarly, you can say that the function you can also explain in the form of what is the necessity of your gearbox. Further, now I am explaining what is the need of your gearbox. What is the basic need? So now explaining, as you have seen here, the graph is plotted between uh, tractive torque or tractive effort. And further, yeah, you can say the graph is plotted between the tractive effort and the total resistance. And the in the x-axis, the vehicle engine speed. In case of total resistances, different types of total resistances case are available, like R1, R2, R3 and R4. R1 is the highest amount of total resistance. R2 is higher but less than the highest case, less than the R1. R3 is again less than the R2, and R4 is the lowest resistance which is occur into the your auto vehicle. Now I am explaining, when you moving your vehicle, and in case of manual gear system, when you apply a फर्स्ट गियर, तो जब आप बेसिकली फर्स्ट गियर अप्लाई करते हो, तो फर्स्ट गियर के केस में जैसे ही आपने फर्स्ट गियर अप्लाई किया, उस केस में आपका जो ट्रैक्टिव एफर्ट या जो टोटल अमाउंट ऑफ टॉर्क है वो आपका बहुत हाई होता है इन केस ऑफ फर्स्ट गियर. सो फर्स्ट गियर के केस में जैसे ही आपने फर्स्ट गियर अप्लाई किया, आपका टॉर्क आपका सडनली, जैसे से स्पीड आपकी व्हीकल की बढ़ती जाती है, टॉर्क आपका सडनली बहुत तेज़ी से बढ़ता है. आई हैव ऑल्सो एक्सप्लेन यू व्हेन आई एक्सप्लेनिंग यू अबाउट टॉर्क एंड पावर. When I explain the torque characteristic, then you see then I was explaining you, as the speed of a vehicle increases, the torque increases with very rapid rate, and after that it decreases. And in the same way I was explaining about the your indicated power, brake power and frictional power also in the same graph. So just like same case here, जैसे ही आप व्हीकल की स्पीड को बढ़ाते हो, तो आपका ट्रैक्टिव एफर्ट और यू कैन से टॉर्क, ट्रैक्टिव एफर्ट आपका बहुत तेज़ी से बढ़ता है, और उसके बाद में वो आपका डाउन होना शुरू होता है. तो ये जब ट्रैक्टिव एफर्ट आपका तेज़ी से बढ़ता है और ये आपका डाउन होना शुरू करता है, तो ये आपके हाईएस्ट या टोटल रेजिस्टेंस R1 को आपको ए पॉइंट पर कट करता है, R2 को बी पॉइंट पर कट करता है, R3 को सी पॉइंट पर कट करता है, और R4 को डी पॉइंट पर कट करता है. इन द सेम मैनर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ स्पीड्स आपको गेन होती हैं. आपका सेम सीक्वेंस में ए पॉइंट के लिए आपका एन ए स्पीड, बी के लिए बी एन बी, एन सी एंड एन डी, ये डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ स्पीड आपको मिलती है. और ये आपकी एक मैक्सिमम लिमिटेड स्पीड होती है इन केस ऑफ फर्स्ट गियर के केस में. जब फर्स्ट गियर अप्लाई करते हो, तो अलग अलग रेजिस्टेंसेस के केस में ये आपको अलग अलग स्पीड मिलती हैं. अगर ये फर्स्ट गियर हाईएस्ट रेजिस्टेंस को ओवरकम कर पा रहा है, तो उस केस में एन ए स्पीड मिलेगी. अगर आरबी को ओवरकम कर पा रहा है, अगर हमारा फर्स्ट गियर केस में आरपी रेजिस्टेंस को, कि हमारी रनिंग मान लीजिए व्हीकल है, उस केस में आपने फर्स्ट गियर अप्लाई किया हुआ है, तो मैक्सिमम स्पीड एन बी मिलेगी। तो अलग अलग रेजिस्टेंस को अगर ओवरकम करना हो तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग ये आपको डिफरेंट स्पीड्स आपको प्रोवाइड होती हैं। लेकिन अगर हमारी व्हीकल जस्ट लाइक अगर आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट योर व्हीकल हमारी स्टेशनरी कंडीशन में है और उस समय हमें रेजिस्टेंस आपको फर्स्ट गियर अप्लाई किया है, तो जो मैक्सिमम स्पीड हमें मिल पाएगी वो हमें एन ए मिल पाएगी, ये हमारी टॉप स्पीड होगी उस केस में जिस समय आपको टोटल हाईएस्ट रेजिस्टेंस आर वन को ओवरकम करना है तब। तो जब आपको आर वन रेजिस्टेंस को सिर्फ ओवरकम करना है तो उस केस में जो आपको फर्स्ट गियर की केस में जो स्पीड मिलेगी एन ए मिलेगी। फर्दर अगर आप और ज़्यादा स्पीड चाहते हो, आप चाहते हो हमें इससे ज़्यादा स्पीड चाहिए, तो आप सेकंड गियर को शिफ्ट करते हो। जैसे व्हीकल आपका सेकंड गियर केस में आता है, सेकंड गियर के लिए ट्रैक्टिव एफर्ट कर्व आपका ड्रॉ होना शुरू होता है और वो ट्रैक्टिव एफर्ट कर्व यस वो ट्रैक्टिव एफर्ट कर्व आपके, क्योंकि फर्स्ट गियर को तो टच नहीं कर सकता है, आपके टोटल हाईएस्ट रेजिस्टेंस आर वन को टच नहीं कर पाए, क्योंकि आपका सेकंड गियर में इतनी ज़्यादा पावर, इतनी ज़्यादा टॉर्क नहीं होता है कि आपके फर्स्ट गियर को या फिर आप कह सकते हो जो आपका आर वन रेजिस्टेंस आपका है उसको ओवरकम कर सके। लेकिन ये आर टू, आर थ्री एंड आर फोर को ओवरकम कर सकता है। तो ये रेजिस्टेंस अगर सेकंड गियर की बात करते हैं, सेकंड गियर्स आर टू को ई पॉइंट पर, आर थ्री को एफ पॉइंट पर और आर फोर को जी पॉइंट पर कट करता है और इसके करस्पॉन्डिंग जो आपको डिफरेंट स्पीड मिलती है वो आपको एन ई, एन एफ एंड एन जी आपको स्पीड मिलती है। लेकिन अगर हमें इस सेकंड गियर से सेकंड गियर को ही ओवरकम करना हो, क्योंकि अगर हमें चाहते हैं सेकंड गियर की पावर को हमारा ओवरकम कर सके, तो जो मैक्सिमम स्पीड आपको मिलेगी वो आपको एन ई मिलेगी। ये जो यहाँ पर ड्रॉ किया गया है, मैक्सिमम स्पीड आपको एन ई मिल सकती है। अब अगर हमें इससे ज़्यादा स्पीड चाहिए होगी, क्योंकि हमारे पास रिक्वायरमेंट थी कि हम सेकंड गियर को आर टू रेजिस्टेंस को हमें ओवरकम करना है, तो आर टू रेजिस्टेंस को ओवर करने के सेकंड आप गियर आपने लगाया और उस केस में जो मैक्सिमम स्पीड आपको मिल सकती है वो आपको एन ई मिल सकती है। यस यू है, इफ आपको हो सकता है डाउट हो कि तो हमने एन एफ और एन जी क्यों बताया है। एन एफ और एन जी आपको, अगर आपको सेकंड गियर में आर थ्री और आर फोर को ओवरकम करना होगा तो आपको एन एफ और एन जी आपको स्पीड मिलेगी। लेकिन चूंकि सेकंड गियर आपने इससे लगाया था कि आपको सेकंड गियर को आपको आर टू को ओवरकम करना था, जो आर टू रेजिस्टेंस लग रहा है उसको आपको, आप चाहते हो उसको फेस कर सको, उसके अगेंस्ट आप व्हीकल को रन करा सको, तो उस केस में जो मैक्सिमम स्पीड आपको मिलेगी वो आपको एन ई मिलेगी। फर्दर अगर हमें उससे ज़्यादा स्पीड चाहिए होती है तो हमें गियर थ्री लगाना पड़ेगा। सो ओके सॉरी चला गया। चलिए हम बात करते हैं एन थर्ड गियर के केस में। थर्ड गियर जब हम अप्लाई करते हैं तो थर्ड गियर आपका आर थ्री और आर फोर को ओवरकम करता है और आर थ्री और आर फोर को ओवरकम करने के लिए आपका एच, ये एच पॉइंट और जे पॉइंट, आर थ्री को ओवरकम कर, वो आर थ्री को कट करता है एच लाइन पर, एच पॉइंट पर, और आपके आर फोर को कट करता है जे पॉइंट पर। करस्पॉन्डिंग जो हमें स्पीड मिलती है वो हमें मिलती है एन एच और आपका एन जे, ये हमें करस्पॉन्डिंग स्पीड मिल जाती है। लेकिन अगेन सेम केस में अगर हम क्योंकि हमारा ये लोएस्ट गियर होता है, या सॉरी हमारा हाईएस्ट गियर होता है और आर थ्री एंड आर फोर आपके लोएस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ फ्रिक्शंस आपके होते, रेजिस्टेंस आपके होते हैं। सो इन डेट केस जो भी आपको पावर मिल रही होती है, जो भी आपको फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स, आपका जो भी ट्रैक्टिव एफर्ट मिल रहा होता है, उसके कराउंड करस्पॉन्डिंग एन एच और एन एच एन जे स्पीड आप इसलिए गेन कर सकते हो और व्हीकल को आप हायर स्पीड पे इसलिए आप रन करा सकते हो। सो अगर हम बात करते हैं यहाँ पर नीड ऑफ अ गियर बॉक्स की, तो गियर बॉक्स का बेसिकली नीड आपका यही होता है कि जो डिफरेंट अलग अलग केसेस आपके हैं, अलग अलग रेजिस्टेंसेस के केसेस आपके हैं, उन केसेस में आप डिफरेंट गियर्स को अप्लाई करके मैक्सिमम टॉर्क, मैक्सिमम पावर को आप अप्लाई कर सको, मैक्सिमम फोर्स अप्लाई कर सको, और ड्यू टू डेट मैक्सिमम फोर्सेस you will easily overcome different types of resistances. Like if we have to uh, overcome highest resistance or very high resistance when the vehicle is in stationary condition, then the first gear is needed. And in case of when the resistance is slightly lower, then the second gear is needed. And when the vehicle is directly moving on a surface and there is no any type of hindrances which occurs, and the road condition is also good, and that all the different conditions are good, so in that case our third gear is applied. The one more thing is applied on your auto vehicles is reverse gear, and the vehicle of the purpose of this reverse gear is to provide reversal of your vehicle. So or you can say the backward movement of vehicle of your vehicle, and I will explain this type of back gear arrangement in my next topic when I am explaining different types of gearboxes and the functioning of different types of gearboxes. तो यहाँ पर अगर हम एक सिंपल केस में बात करते हैं, तो जो आपको स्पीड, अब आपको एक यहाँ पर अगेन हम फिर से आपको बता रहे हैं कि डाउट आपको आ सकता है कि जब हमें एन ए स्पीड ही हमें मिलनी थी फर्स्ट गियर के केस में, तो हमने एन बी, एन सी, एन डी और एन डी, एन की बात क्यों करी? ये बेसिकली बात से हम इसलिए करते हैं कि अगर हमें फर्स्ट गियर हमारा स्टेशनरी, अगर हमारी व्हीकल स्टेशनरी केस में है, उस केस में हम चाहते हैं व्हीकल को ट्रेवल कराना, व्हीकल को मूव कराना, तो वो वहाँ पर आपका रेजिस्टेंस बहुत ज़्यादा ऑफर हो रहा होगा, और वो जो रेजिस्टेंस आपका होता है, हाईएस्ट रेजिस्टेंस होता है, R1 होता है। अगर आप उस R1 को ओवरकम करना है, तो उस समय आप फर्स्ट गियर जो लगाते हो, तो आपको मैक्सिमम स्पीड NA ही मिल सकती है। लेकिन अगर आपकी व्हीकल रनिंग कंडीशन में है, व्हीकल आपके रन कर रही है और सडनली आपको आपको रोड में कोई बम्प्स आ जाते हैं या कोई जर्क आ जाता है या किसी अदर केस में आपको गियर डाउन करना पड़ता है और फर्स्ट गियर लगाते हो, तो उस समय जो आपको स्पीड मिलेगी, अगर वहाँ पर आपका सिर्फ और सिर्फ R2 रेजिस्टेंस तक आपका हायर हो रहा है, तो आपको स्पीड आपको NB मिल सकती है। फर्दर अगर रोड कंडीशन और ज़्यादा बेटर है और आपकी स्पीड ज़्यादा है, रेजिस्टेंसेस आपके कम ऑफर हो रहे हैं, रेजिस्टेंस आपके R3 या R4 लेवल के आपके ऑफर हो रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पर आपको स्पीड NC या ND ग्रेड की मिल सकती है। तो ये डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ स्पीड्स हमारे फर्स्ट गियर में अवेलेबल है, लेकिन डिपेंड करता है कि किस रेजिस्टेंस को आपको फेस करना है। अगर आपको बहुत हाई रेजिस्टेंस को फेस करना है, आपको R1 रेजिस्टेंस को फेस करना है, तो स्पीड आपको NA रहेगी। रेजिस्टेंस आपका R2 होगा तो NB रहेगी। रेजिस्टेंस आपका R3 या R4 रहेगा तो स्पीड NC या ND रहेगी। सेम केस सेकंड गियर के लिए होगा। सेकंड गियर बेसिकली आपका R2 रेजिस्टेंस को ओवरकम करने के लिए ड्रॉ किया जाता है, लेकिन अगर आप व्हीकल बेटर कंडीशन में रन कर रही है, रेजिस्टेंस कम ऑफर हो रहे हैं और तो भी आपने सेकंड गियर को लगा रखा है, तो अब स्पीड आपको अगर हम सेकंड गियर केस में बात करते हैं, तो आपको स्पीड NF या NG के केस में आपको अवेलेबल हो सकती है। तो ये आपके डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ रेजिस्टेंसेस आपके हो गए। अब फर्दर हम आपसे बात करेंगे आपके नेक्स्ट टॉपिक में अदर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ I can say what is the gears and what are the different types of gears used in our automobiles, what is the gear ratio, what is the difference between the different types of gear like spur gear and helical gear, what is the advantage of spur gear and what are the advantages of air gear, helical gear. So हम ये डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ गियर की बात करेंगे, इनके गियर रेशियोज़ की बात करेंगे, और फर्दर अगर बात करते हैं तो डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ गियर बॉक्सेस की बात करेंगे। ओके, थैंक यू।